Hey guys, this is Andre from Wealthy Neighbor. Hope you all doing well. So in this video, I will show you how to use your credit card properly, which basically means avoiding the high interest fees and extending the time you have to pay for the stuff you already bought. Uh, Please take a minute to pause the video now and read the disclaimer, and if you are okay with all the terms, keep watching. So this is the summary of this video. In the beginning, we'll start with some details about how to apply for a credit card, which is very simple nowadays. Then some pros and cons and some strategies to benefit from a credit card, and finally I will talk about some of the credit cards I own and use on a regular basis. So, when you want to apply for a credit card, the first thing you should do is maybe ask your bank manager for options they may have, because you are probably already paying for your bank account. So maybe the credit card is included for free, or maybe sometimes if you, for example, spend like a certain amount every month on your credit card, the bank manager will be able to waive the annual fee. So that's a huge advantage for us. We actually don't want to pay for an annual fee on our credit cards. But if we don't have this option, then you should consider yourself whether it's worth it to pay for one or not. Some other strategies you can use is trying to apply for a credit card from an online bank, or for example like Next or Nubank. And you can also apply for credit cards from department stores, for example Lojas Americanas, Casas Bahia, even supermarkets like Extra or Macro. I don't know, maybe they will be able to offer credit cards, even international credit cards, without any annual fee, as long as, for example, you buy something on their stores every month and so on. So when you start to applying for a credit card, the main thing the companies will check is called a credit score. So our credit score tells the financing companies how reliable we are in paying our debts. We get a high credit score if we pay everything before the due date or on the due date, if we don't carry any debt, and for example, if you have a bank account open for a very long time, then it's probably likely you have a high credit score. And the final details when you're applying for the credit card, mind the APR, or the annual percentage rate, which means the annual interest charged on the credit card. But keep in mind that we'll try to avoid it, so it's not a decisive factor, but you should be aware of it. Actually, I forgot to say something before we start the video. So this video is about the best practices about using your credit card, and it's up to you. You can choose whatever you want to do with it. But there are some very important things I should mention, the things that you should never do with your credit card. So first one, do not buy what you cannot afford. So for example, don't buy things just to show off, don't buy things that you don't need just because you have the credit limit. And number two, do not use your credit card as an emergency fund. You should be able to save some money and have this emergency fund on your own. You should not rely on your credit card for that. So these two are the two things that you should definitely not do with the credit card. Moving on, pros and cons. Okay, so the pros of having a credit card. You can opt for monthly payment plans. For example, you are buying something worth $300, but you can actually pay it in 3 months, right, without interest. So every month we will pay $100, and at the end of the, you get the product, right, when you buy it, but you will finish paying for it only 3 months for now. So this is kind of good as long as you're not buying something you cannot afford. And yeah, this will be, I will talk about this later in the next slides. So another pro, convenience. You don't need to carry all the cash, right? This can be safer, somewhere. Sometimes you don't want to carry a lot of bills in your wallet or something, so you just have that plastic little card. It's very convenient. And also nowadays, most of the stores will accept credit cards as well as debit cards. So it makes carrying money around easier. Some credit cards will offer some level of safety against fraud and someone steals your credit card number and try to buy some stuff online. The credit card company will call you and ask, "Oh, was that you? Is that you who's buying all this stuff?" Because this is not on your spending profile. No, I don't know, you never bought a traveling ticket, but someone tried to buy like five tickets at once on your credit card. So the credit card company will block all these transactions, and then they'll call you and ask if it was really you. Also, loyalty programs. So yeah, you're spending the money anyway. You need to buy something, so you're going to buy it. So why not get something else from it? So this is what loyalty programs are for. And also every month you get the credit card bill, right? In the credit card bill you can see all the times, all the entries. Every time you swipe your credit card to buy something, it will show on your bill. So this makes it easier to track all your expenses, much easier than having to remember or keep the checks if you pay stuff by cash. So now the cons. Okay, most of the time when you buy something and pay like credit card, you are forfeiting the cash payment discount, because almost all merchants need to pay some extra fees to process the credit card payments. So their products they will have to charge the customers for these extra fees, right? So the products will be more expensive. So maybe if you can ask the merchant, "Oh, I'm going to pay cash. Do I get an additional discount?" Maybe he'll give you like 5% or 10% discount, which is pretty good. You should definitely go for it. Sometimes they offer no discount at all. So you just pay with your credit card. Okay, for some people, if you have credit card, you may just go on a buying spree. Since you have that limit, you're not actually spending money right now. You can buy like a lot of clothes, or I don't know, a lot of toys or a lot of electronics whenever you like. And yeah, this can be dangerous. You have to control yourself. If you have to pay cash, then you have to have cash. But if you're just paying on your credit card, you are not actually spending any money right now. So yeah, take care. Don't go on buying sprees just because you have a credit card. High interest rate. Yeah, do not buy stuff you can't afford. So make sure every month you are able to pay your credit card bill on due date, full. don't let things get out of hand and don't let it become a snowball, because this can be very dangerous as well. The annual fee. Some credit cards, credit card companies, or people who will give you the credit card will be able to waive those annual fees as long as you use your credit card on a regular basis, or maybe you're a client of the place that's issuing the credit card. Sometimes it's not feasible. Maybe you're getting a very extra high limit credit card or some extra loyalty program perks that are not included in the regular plan, and then you have to pay an extra for these. But yeah, remember that our goal is not to pay any annual fee on our credit cards. So just try to keep it simple, simple works best usually. And another con, this one can be very annoying. Sometimes you want to make an international purchase. I don't know, you go to eBay and buy some book, or Amazon, and the currency is United States dollar, right? So they ask for your international credit card. You go there and the numbers, enter the security code, and complete the purchase. And then this is, let's say it's on the 15th. So the thing you bought was $30, okay? And on the 15th, the exchange rate is like 350. So $1 equals 350 reais. But you will not pay your credit card on this date, right? The credit card bill due date is at the end of the month, so on the 30th. And say on the 30th something terrible happened with the economy, and the current exchange rate is 5, so $1 equals 5 reais. So if when you bought your book on the 15th, you paid $30 for it, so it should be let's say it was 3, so 90 reais. But when you pay your credit card bill, you actually have to pay 150 reais, because the credit card will use the current exchange rate. Okay, so most of the credit cards will not allow you to just use the day of purchase exchange rate. So well, sometimes the exchange rate can go down, and then to make it better for you. But honestly, I would like to be able to pay on the same day, same date exchange rate, because it makes me, I feel safer this way. I don't want to rely on the future, So I consider this a bad call. And just as I was saying, most of the cons can be mitigated. For example, buying spree, control yourself. High interest rate, control yourself. Pay the full bill every month. Annual fee, try to look for a credit card without annual fee. So I would say it's pretty okay to have a credit card as long as you know what you're doing and you are under control of your financial situation, right? And now finally, arguably the most interesting section of this video: how to benefit from a credit card. So in my opinion, I like this thing that credit cards let us buy something we need now and pay for it later. So in commercial finance, we have this concept of days of payables outstanding. You can see the formula here. The abbreviation is DPO, equals accounts payable divided by cost of goods sold divided by 365 days a year. So what does DPO means? DPO is a number, the amount of days that we have to pay that it's the amount of days we have before we actually have to pay the bills or the people we own. So for example, say I own a company and it's a company that sells popcorn, and I buy 30 kilograms of popcorn on the first of a given month, and then I have this 30 days of payables of outstanding. So what does this mean? This means that I only have to pay for all the popcorn on the next month, right? Because I have 1 month of days of payable outstanding, which is pretty good. And for a company, the higher days of payables outstanding, the better. What about us as customers? Well, I guess the same concept applies, right? The longer we are able to keep the cash, the better. So this is one of the huge benefits of having a credit card. We can postpone the actual uh, payments, right? Actually, uh, the actual cash withdrawals from our bank accounts. Second thing, monthly payment plan. So in most countries, this is not a common thing because people will just buy things they can afford. So you don't want to go into debt just to buy something that you don't really need. But here in Brazil, it's very common for many stores, department stores, electronic stores, and even supermarkets to offer monthly payment plans. What does this mean? For example, I want to buy a notebook for 1,000 reais, and I opt for a monthly payment plan of 5 months. So each month I will pay 200 reais until the fifth month. Um, then I would have paid the 1,000 reais, which is the full value of the notebook I purchased 5 months ago. So as long as you're buying something that you need and you're under control of your finance, I would say that this is good. You don't have to get all that 1,000 reais cash up front. Next item, loyalty programs. So as I said before, you are going to spend the money anyway. So why not take some advantage of it? Like you are already paying taxes and maybe the product's very expensive. So why not? Loyalty programs work. All the loyalty programs work more or less the same. You use your credit card, you pay food, electronics, trips, hotels, whatever, using your credit card. And for each dollar you spend, you get 1 point. Maybe more, maybe less, but that's the idea. So what can you do at this point? When you have enough points, you can exchange all of them for a product or for a plane ticket or for I don't know, one night at a hotel, uh, and so on. So you keep accumulating these points as you spend money using your credit card, and then at a later date you get to exchange the points for some product or service. That's good. I mean, you're already spending money, so why not? And the second thing, which is not very common in Brazil, but it's huge in the United States, is what the credit card companies call cashback. So it's pretty much like the loyalty program, but for example, there is a credit card that gives you 5% cashback on Amazon purchases. Every time you buy something from Amazon using your credit card, you get 5% in cashback, and you can actually use this cashback to pay your credit card bill or even withdraw it to your checking account or exchange it as in the loyalty program for something else. So this is also pretty useful. And finally, credit cards may offer some other perks, maybe at additional fees, maybe not, such as travel insurance, free extended free or extended returns on online purchases, the protection against fraud, and so on. So, if you have a credit card without an annual fee, you're not paying anything from it. Use it. Okay, so the credit cards I have. I actually have two of them, but the one I use the most is an American Express issued by Bradesco, Banco Bradesco S.A. American Express credit cards are not very common in Brazil. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was actually hard for you to find uh, places that accepted the card. But nowadays, it's generally accepted, and you won't have any problems with that. If you travel to the United States, for example, most of the stores and everywhere will take your American Express, right? But in Europe, on the other hand, it's also hard. Some places take it, some places do not. What I like about my American Express: first, no annual fee. That's great. Second, and this is particularly very good, the loyalty program points do not expire, which means I'm not, for example, I have like 10,000 points and I need 12,000 to exchange for a plane ticket to Argentina. I don't have the points will expire in 2 months. I don't have the pressure of spending money on something I may not need, just to not lose these points, or exchange the points for something I don't want, because I really want the plane ticket to Argentina. So if you have an American Express card, the loyalty points will not expire like ever, unless the company goes bankrupt or something. Well, I guess that's good. The second credit card I own is a MasterCard credit card issued by Nubank. Nubank is a internet bank in Brazil. It's not that old, at least compared to Bradesco, but a lot of people, uh, I don't know, use it, like it. Some old school people don't like it very much because it's an online bank. They don't have the bricks and mortar. They don't have any agencies. They don't have places you can go and talk to your manager or complain. You know, so people think, oh, where will my money go, or something like this. But in most countries nowadays, there are a lot of online only banks, and the advantage of such banks is that they don't need to spend, for example, on real estate, or spend as much on human resources, so they can offer more competitive prices compared to the bigger banks. So what do I like about my Nubank credit card? It's MasterCard, so it's widely accepted in Europe, Asia, and Brazil. Almost everywhere will take a MasterCard credit card, right? Also, they have no annual fee. I don't pay anything for it, even if I don't use it. Since I most of the time using my American Express card, maybe I will not use my MasterCard for like 2-3 months, and I don't have to pay anything extra for that. And maybe one good advantage of the MasterCard, especially the Nubank MasterCard credit card, that I can visit this website here and check in real time what's the conversion rate, the dollar to Brazilian real conversion rate on this day. But remember, this is not the actual price. The actual conversion rate I'm gonna pay, right? I need to check the conversion rate on the bill due date, not on the day I make the purchase. But it's good because I can have an idea, right, of how much I'm going to pay for international purchases. On the other hand, American Express will not give us this rate. We can try to estimate it. Some websites on the internet will say what's the spread or how much more compared to the like the price we see from from the stock market, like the dollar, the dollar price, how much more the a credit card company will charge us. We can try to estimate it, but we never know for sure. So this other new bank card is more transparent in this aspect, and that's a good thing. And that's it, guys. This is all I had to say about credit cards. So as you can see, I don't use them for a lot of things, right? Just to extend my days of payables outstanding and actually hold my cash for a longer time. But a very good question is, what do you do with this cash? So I'm planning to make a different video about ways to invest this short-term cash. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not worth the hassle or the trouble, but the thing is there is no risk. So we will earn it anyway, for sure. So it's good. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to write down in the comments section or email me at wealthyneighbor@gmail.com. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.